Guess what Dan Slott's been doing? Well, it's not writing comic books. Alright, so Dan Slott, comic book creator extraordinaire, recently got into a bit of a tiff with a fan. Now, I haven't read the articles, I just saw Jeremy from the Quarter and doing a thing on it, and I was a bit of a surprise at the end, I'll show you, but saw a few things on Twitter going around, and so I figured, fuck it, I'll cover it. So I'm as new to this article as you guys are, just saying. First one, there's two of them. There's one from they're both from Bounty in the comics. But yeah, he got into a tiff with a fan. Marvel writer Dan Slott polices fans' Twitter activity, blocks them for following Comicsgate-affiliated accounts. Marvel author Dan Slott, who may best be remembered from either his previous run on The Amazing Spider-Man, his current run on Fantastic Four, or his disastrous appearance on Disney Plus's Marvel 616, recently admitted to not only policing who a fan followed on Twitter, but also blocked them after discovering said fan followed a number of Comicsgate-affiliated accounts. Yeah, I saw him on that Disney Plus thing back when I still had Disney Plus. Because I saw your boy Zach covering it back then, and so I was like, just broke down and was like, I want to see what this is. So, yeah. And that's pretty much what I know Dan Slott from. I may have read a Spider-Man run, I'm not sure, to be completely honest. So, on August 20th, comic book YouTuber Joshua Quirk announced via his personal Twitter account that he'd been blocked by Slott because I disagreed with him politely. Oh, here we go. We'll just read the real tweet. Dan Slott blocked me because I disagreed with him politely, then responded and blocked me before I could respond. This is another reason comics nowadays are crazy. I liked Dan. I just disagreed with one thing. And then you got the rest of these. There's no situation we could... This is from Dan Slott. You can read. There is no situation we could be in at any point this year where I am not absolutely certain we'd be in a worse place with more American deaths than if the other candidate were still in office. Border crisis, Afghanistan, gas prices, jobs, inflation. Afghanistan would be just as bad or worse because of how Trump was actually dealing with the region and how Stephen Miller was screwing up the visa processes. He actually believes all of these other things would have been worse under Trump. The economy was great under Trump. This is coming from a dude who actually had TDS. Seriously, this is coming from a guy who had TDS for most of Trump's entire run in office. I didn't have a problem with, any of the stupid shit he said, because I don't listen to the media. I really never have. So I figured half the crap the media was spewing about him was sensationalized. That's the word I wanted. I figured a lot of it was sensationalized, including a lot of the supposedly racist crap he said. The whole grabbing women by their crotches thing, I was a little more about that, since that was definitely his voice there, but that wasn't what caused my shit. I was more in the camp of, he was a rich kid. I figured he was a rich kid trying to get his own way. You know what I mean? So, I did suffer through that for about 3 years. I wasn't hardcore. But yeah, anyway, and I didn't like his environmental policies at the time. But, that's neither here nor there. Because, like I said, seriously, this would not have been worse under Trump. Trump would have gotten this under control, I'm sure. But, anyway. And the screenshots provided by Quirk, the YouTuber, can be seen responding to Slott's assertion that we'd be in a worse place with more American deaths than if Donald Trump were still in office, by arguing that the border crisis, Afghanistan, gas prices, and inflation would be taken care of way better, or something would have never happened if Trump was. Okay, so he's saying, yeah, Quirk here is saying this shit would be better under Trump, which, I'm sorry, I can't say it's objectively true, but it's more objective than subjective, in my own opinion, which is subjective, so whatever. Anyway. And Dan Slott, of course, would have been far worse because of no vaccine rollout. What? Oh my god. Seriously, do these people seriously believe this? Have they really changed history in their own heads? So seriously, for real, are these people so far gone that they've completely rewritten history in their own minds? Trump was the one who got the vaccines pushed through. Oh my god, dude. Anyway, taking notice of Quirk's announcement that he'd blocked Slott, informed the YouTuber, I blocked you because I checked who you were following. And you were following a number of accounts that are members of an online hate group who have actively harassed people in the comic book industry who are from marginalized communities, lies, including POC lies, LGBT lies, and female creators, lies. All of those people exist in Comicsgate. While Slott did not specifically name the hate group in question, or at least identify themselves with Comicsgate. While Slott did not specifically name the hate group in question, to which a number of the accounts Quirk follows supposedly ascribed, given his description that said group actively harassed people in the comic book industry, it can be safely assumed that he is referring to the Comicsgate movement, which has routinely been described in similar terms by numerous comic book professionals. To that end, at the time of writing a cursory glance of the 550 accounts, Quirk confirms that he follows such Comicsgate-related accounts as Chuck Dixon, Just Some Guy, Hill vs. Babyface, England Time, and Douglas Ernst. I'm going to have to follow this dude. He seems like a real smart guy, not just because he follows. Like, I follow Just Some Guy, Hill vs. Babyface. I don't know who these other dudes are. But, just because, I mean, this, right here, this shows he actually pays attention. Whereas Dan Slott's got his head up his ass. I'm surprised he can see or read tweets, with how far his head is jammed up his own posterior. However, Quirk is also following a number of comic book accounts who have vocally positioned themselves counter to the Comicsgate movement, including those belonging to Mark Wade, Jerry Ordway, Ron Martz, and Kurt Busiek. I don't know who any of those people are. Pushing back against Slott's childish assumptions, Quirk declared, "Yeah, I follow a lot of people from the left to the right. I do interviews with comic creators from Mark Russell to Brian Hill. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat because I feel that it puts me in a box. I follow both sides to see what the other side is saying, that's it." However, this explanation was unsatisfactory for Slott, who wrote in response, "This isn't a question of both sides. You follow a number of accounts that have actively harassed people in the comic book industry because they're from marginalized communities. Lies. That's not a left or right thing or a Dem or Republican thing. It's a right or wrong thing. And it's a lie." I mean, I'm sure that there are people who identify themselves as Comicsgate who are assholes. Just like there are a bunch of fucktards in mainstream comics that, like the virtue signal like Slott here, who are fucking assholes. I know, I've seen them. I've seen their tweets. I've seen their interviews. If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved. Oh, yeah, we took you up on that, Susan. Susan DeConnick? I think that's her name. Offering a further explanation, Quirk noted, if they did something fucked up, I'll call them on it. But I don't know who you were talking about. I have over 500 people I follow and don't even see 100 of them a day. Most of them are from years ago. But if you still want to block me, go ahead. It's your account, man. Acknowledging Quirk's point, Slott simply wrote, I get that. And when asked by the viewer if they were good, the author again offered a simple one-word answer, sure. Very good. Very good. In conclusion to his interaction with Slott, Quirk deleted the relevant thread because it was spreading a lot of hate. I deleted the post about Dan Slott and I because it was spreading a lot of hate. I didn't think it would blow up like that. Please only spread love. So that's the first article there. And apparently it continued today or yesterday. This article's from today. Marvel writer Dan Slott doubles down on bullying fan over Twitter activity. Demands fan deletes tweets discussing previous incident. Following Marvel writer Dan Slott's recent policing of a fan's Twitter activity, wherein he blocked and scolded said fan simply for following various Comicsgate-affiliated accounts, the current Fantastic Four helmsman has doubled down on his bullying, going on to take issue with the fans' discussion of and demanding he delete tweets related to the incident. Shortly after Slott's passive-aggressive attempt to enforce an ideological purity test was brought. Yeah. I love that word there. I love that. That's the best way to describe these people. Was brought to widespread attention by Bounding into Comics. Said fan YouTuber Joshua Quirk was invited to discuss his unfortunate interaction with the Marvel author in an August 24th livestream hosted by YouTube channel I Love Comics. So I guess that other article is from a few days ago. I didn't look at the date, sorry. Appearing on the show, Quirk explained to host Ingleton? Yeah, Jeremy had trouble pronouncing this too. And I was thinking, damn it, Jeremy. Angleton. I'm guessing it's Angleton. I don't even see myself as someone who's part of the culture war. I got accused of something and then I was like, wait, hold up, I gotta defend myself. Bruh. Can't. These are people who legitimately rewrite shit in their heads. There's legitimately no defending yourself from these people unless you immediately bend the knee, beg for forgiveness, and start wearing hair shirts and shit. You can't reason with them. Given that he and his interaction with Slott were the focus of the story, Quirk eventually went on to share links to both Bounding into Comics' reporting of the story and his own appearance on I Love Comics to his Twitter followers. A pair of decisions that would once again lead to him being the target of Slott's ire. As seen in direct messages exchanged between Quirk and Slott, provided to Bounding into Comics by Quirk himself, once Slott took notice of Quirk's sharing of the two aforementioned pieces of media coverage, the Marvel author charged into the YouTuber's direct messages and bellowed, "Oh, for fuck's sake, why is that the first and third post of your feed? Why?" See, this is what Dan Slott does instead of his fucking job. I mean, seriously, if I was the head of Marvel, my first thing would be no fucking Twitter while you're working. Period. You're on the clock, you're working. There's no time for Twitter. If you have time for Twitter, you're not working. But, perfect world, right? Angleton asked me to talk about the article. I stuck up for you and said you were actually a good guy. I really did. You can watch it. Oh, here, we'll just go down here and look at these. Yes, yeah, I really did. You can watch it. And the three post is me saying, oh boy, because it's the shitty website. Dan, I'm not an asshole, man. Oh yeah, but Bounding does a few things. No, not here. Angleton is a Comicsgate guy. The whole reason I originally said I was blocking you was because you were following Comicsgate people. And you were like, I didn't know that, and you were giving them a boost on your site and getting their word out there. Though Quirk confirmed that he even came here to tell you about it in an attempt to assuage Slott's anger, The writer chose to instead lecture Quirk on his own personal belief that Comicsgate is a hate group. Yeah, I even came on here to tell you about it. Comicsgate is a hate group. No, they're not. This isn't a both sides thing. Yeah, it's a one-side thing where you're insane. This is a group that came into existence by asking, lie. I can link you to 2,000 mainstream articles. I just had the exact reaction as Jeremy. But seriously though, mainstream, wow. Yeah, and the Mary Sue is mainstream, BuzzFeed is mainstream, Vox is mainstream. They're all shit. Polygon, Kotaku, shit. They're mainstream. No matter what BS Comicsgaters like to spin, they're a hate group. They have a member on their live stream who's associated with the Proud Boys. Oh, you mean the Proud Boys led by a Latino gay man? That hate group, that white supremacist group, led by a Latino gay man? You're a moron, Slott. They also have a member on their live stream associated with Proud Boys. A reference to Lady Alchemy, Modus Liber creator, Martina Marcota's various appearances on podcasts hosted by Proud Boys founder Gavin McInnes. Yeah. Martina Marcota, I think I follow her. Slot continued, you don't balance that out by also following Chip Zdarsky and John Swintrays. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Sorry. This isn't some kind of algebra equation where it somehow makes it okay to reach out and have conversations with members of a full-on hate group. I don't know how to explain it any simpler than that. Well, I mean, I can tell you this, Slot. There's so many plays on your name I could make, but I'm a grown-up, supposedly. You actually can change people's minds about stupid shit by talking to them. And, pointing out facts and logic and using reason, which you and your ilk don't fucking do. Let me rephrase an earlier, Dan. What are those still first and third posts of your feed? After linking to a number of heavily biased, poorly researched articles on the subject of Comicsgate from the Miami Herald, of course, Washington Post, of course, and Inverse, Slot finally gave Quirk a chance to interject, at which point the YouTuber told the Marvel writer, I'm not into that side of comics. I'm actually quite ignorant on Comicsgate besides they are a cult. I'm friends with John, by the way, had him on my channel. He will say I'm not into that crap. Noting that he never had the chance to delete tweets, but he did. Actively speaking with Slot, Quirk asks, what do I have to do to make you believe me, Dan? I'm a fan. Bro, stop. Not into that crap. They were still on there because I was texting you. What do you have to do to make me believe that? What do I have to do to make you believe me, Dan? I'm a fan. I really am. Please don't make me have a bad experience with you. They're gone now. Sorry. And, Dan Slott thanked him. Ooh. In messages sent to Bounty into Comics, Quirk explained that he chose to reach out and share his private correspondences with Slott because I'm actually really upset about it and he shouldn't get away with this. When informed that staff would set out to write a follow-up article on Slott's behavior, Quirk told Bounty into Comics, thanks, I used to think you guys were crazy, but I think I was wrong about that. See? Once again choosing to take a passive as a root Slot follow. But see, this is how you change people's minds. By talking to them. Slot, talking to them. Actually talking to them, not spewing a bunch of crap, talking to them in conversation with them and being a decent person, and not acting like a crazy 60-year-old piece of crap with his head shoved so far up his ass he can't see the world around him or what's actually going on. Anyway, once again, choosing to take the passive aggressive route, Slot followed up his exchange with Quirk by tweeting to his followers a hard-to-learn lesson of social media, talking about awful people and bad faith arguments gives them oxygen. If you try to shine a light on a bad actor, you're actually giving them a signal boost and extending their reach. Yeah, that's not true, bro. You just want to keep people in the dark. Literally, that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying you want to keep people in the dark. Criticizing himself for daring to speak of Comicsgate, Slott continued, and here's the even more frustrating part. If you talk about not talking about something on the internet, you're still talking about it. Anyway, yeah, that's that article, and look at that. I mean, this is what people like Slott do. Make converts. Because he's sitting here trying to keep people in the dark, literally making that argument for keeping people in the dark. And people like the writers for Bounding into Comics here are trying to shed light on things. So, I mean, you decide. And, oh yeah, and as for this prize, this is funny. I'm blocked by Dan Slott. It makes me happy. I discovered this earlier. It makes me so giddy. I'm legitimately giddy that I'm blocked by Dan Slott. I know it's just a blockchain. He probably blocked some Comicsgate people that I happen to follow, but it fucking made me so happy. I feel like I'm part of the cool kids and at the cool kids table. Anyway, that's all I got for you in this video. Wanted to leave it on a happy note. I'm blocked by Dan Slott. I wish Mark Wade would block me. Mark Wade. But, yeah. If you like my stuff, leave a comment down in the section below. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. To the people who are subscribed to me, I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'll see you on my next video. Peace.